Morning. Feeling a little sleepy, but going for a walk right away. Get some gains in, strength gains, exercise gains, stock gains. Let's talk about stock market. All right. Stock market is going crazy. It's had a V-shaped recovery, even though people's analysts said, no, it's not going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a W. It's going to be an L. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Okay, so pandemic shook things up. People got a little scared, sold off a bunch of stuff. People piled in Bitcoin. People piled into green energy when Biden became president. Now we're in some super revolution in the stock market and things are going crazy. There's been more SPACs, also known as SPACs, in 2019 to 2021, or you could say present, because Harvard did a little paper on this. Not because Harvard did a paper on it. The reason why I'm saying this is because Harvard did a paper on this, and there are more SPACs in this time period from 2019 to present than there was from 2010 to 2019 cumulatively. That means there's been more SPACs in the past year than in the past decade. These SPACs are going crazy. One SPAC that we were following was KCAC, and it converted to QuantumScape, and it went from something like $20 a share one day. Next day I'm looking at it, it's $120. It's dropped down to about 40, up to 60, and it's kind of stabilizing now. But what seems to be the trend with SPACs is when they become, when they merge, when the merger physically happens, not just hypothetically that it's going to happen, the stock freaking goes parabolic. So, like a good boy, I just Google SPACs, green energy, and I start following that. And it's a no-brainer. Investors are piling into these SPACs like crazy. Does it matter if you like the company? I would prefer to like the company, but when you look at the volume of these SPACs, it's millions of shares being traded daily before the company even merges, and then when it merges, it goes freaking ballistic. So just something to keep an eye on. Avoid avoid Robinhood, avoid, I want to say Questrade, but Questrade seems legit. Invest through your bank. I don't know how the SEC is going to regulate Robinhood. It just seems totally bunk. Would not touch that thing at all. Maybe if you're under 18 and that's the only way you can do it, maybe $500. I don't know. As a young Canadian, American, I don't know, but Canadian, we have all these secret advantages here. We have the tax-free savings account, we have the RSPs, we have all this and that, we have the CERB that every person that was unemployed in Canada could have applied for. It's a really good time to invest. Bitcoin's going really crazy. Would I buy Bitcoin? No, but I would buy a stock like an ETF that holds Bitcoin. Yes. Would I buy one whole Bitcoin? Probably not. But will Bitcoin double in a year? Probably. Will it go 10 times in 10 years? Probably. Will it outpace real estate? Probably. Will it outpace inflation? Probably. But do you want to put everything on a cryptocurrency at this point in time? No. But think about looking at it. Just watch it. It's free to watch. Communication's free. That's why I like these YouTube videos. What else can we talk about that I've been thinking about the stock market? I've been following Star Peak, QuantumScape, Desktop Metals, PRNT. Air Transit interests me because they were going to merge with Air Canada, and now all the airlines are going kind of bad in Canada. WestJet's canceling flights, Air Canada's canceling flights, Air Transit hasn't flown much, Sunwing hasn't flown much. We are not flying to Mexico, so there could be some resurgence in Air Transit later in the year. Would I buy it now? No, but maybe if it starts coming back up, it might be an interest because Air Canada's buying it. But if Air Canada doesn't do so well, I think that's why we're still regulating flights into Canada so strictly, and we haven't canceled flights, is so that they flight companies don't need a government bailout. I think that's kind of, it's not a conspiracy, it's just business. If you cancel flights coming into Canada, the airline's going to go frickin' bankrupt, and then the government's going to have to do $1 billion bailout. But the government probably figures it's probably cheaper to do the quarantine and staff all the people to do the quarantine. They're paying those security, that's government money. They're paying the hotel, they're renting the hotel. Kind of a no-brainer there. So, even if it cost a few $100 million to do that, it's way cheaper and less economically damaging than shutting down the airline industry, which would be terrible, as lots of people are employed by the airline industry. Expedia stock's a watch. It's really done well. I don't know if it's going to taper off soon. It's just been going crazy. I can't believe it. It's like taking off like my hairline. All right, well, what else can we think about here, just off the top of my head? So at the end of the day, watch your SPACs, watch your green energy, fuel cell, Ballard Power, they're interesting. They've had a really good run. I don't know what's going to happen to them next. Anything renewable seems to be hot right now, and oil has been picked up a little bit, and they talk about the stock market crash, right? The market's in a bubble, this, that, and other thing. They've been saying that about real estate in Canada for a long time. Canada is not just one real estate bubble. Okay, Vancouver's busy, Toronto's busy, Ottawa's busy, Nova Scotia's in the tank, Alberta's in the tank, Saskatchewan's doing whatever, Manitoba's whatever. I don't really follow them that much. It's not that interesting to me. But the premise that the Canadian real estate's in a bubble is totally false, because it varies from province to province. Where there's a lot of government jobs, there's a lot of real estate activity. Victoria, super busy, doubled in 5 years. Vancouver, like I said, everyone knows Vancouver's busy. Vancouver all the way from all the little cities too, all the way up to Whistler. Really interesting. I'd buy in Point Roberts. Met somebody in Mexico, and they said they own property in Point Roberts, which is on the other side of Vancouver, and it's cheap there. And they're right; it's like $100,000 for a lot. I think that's a really good idea if you're not scared of the States, which Point Roberts is like part of Canada. So, yeah, very interesting. That's where I would be buying, or buying just a trailer or something, just to have some property if you can't afford it elsewhere. It's a good way to borrow banks money for free at a low interest rate, and hopefully your investment will go up. And if it doesn't, at least land is not going to go down, and probably keep up with inflation. This is all non-scripted. This is not some cheesy stuff you get off the internet, or this is all for young people to get going. Disney looks like a buy for a bigger company. Yeah, I don't really follow the bigger companies right now because SPACs are so interesting. I will post the stocks I'm watching in my comments section, and you guys can look at them and hopefully benefit, because I'm not a pumper and I'm not a dumper. I'm just want to just giver. All right, well, you guys have a good one today. It's Sunday, February 23rd, I think tomorrow's 24th. So February's almost over. It was way faster than January. Woohoo! It's almost March.